Hey, what's going on? This is part two of venting. So, I just wanted to come and tell you about the consequences of venting to the wrong people. So, I'm going to just share my own experiences. Like I said, it's things that I know that I have experienced, and I feel that it'll be great for other people to also know this experience, so that way if it's something that they have went through, they can understand. Something that they are going through, they can definitely relate. So, and I'm not going to make it a long thing. Because I already did part one, but this is part two of a quick motivation and keeping you not to vent to the wrong people. Okay, so you have two different types of venters. The number one venter is, again, like I said previously, it is mainly those that are hurt, they're in pain, they are offended, things like that. And they're not looking to badmouth anyone, they're just expressing how they were hurt. And they may be looking for a what would you do type of moment, or what would you do type of person. And that type of venting is the one that is mainly known to have people give them feedback, motivation, encouragement, and maybe even advice of what they may have went through to help you guide yourself in what you are going through, because they can relate, because they've been there and they've done that. So with that said, you want to align yourself with people who are going to give you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. You want to align yourself with people who is in the middle, meaning they're not taking sides with anyone. Their only side they got is either the right side or the wrong side, and they're going to tell you which side that you're on, not based on their own personal feelings, but really based on what is good morals. Okay, now you have your second type of venter. That venter is pretty much, they're not looking to vent to really get your opinion. They're really just looking to vent so they can find a way to badmouth someone and talk bad about them, about a situation that they over exaggerated about. It could be something along like, she stepped on my shoe type of thing, and then somehow she or he could vent into a whole different thing, that which will turn into, well, he or she stepped on my shoe. And now when they're venting to you, not only did they step on their shoe, but now they're bougie, and they act like, oh, this person think they too good, this, that, and the third. She stepped on my shoe and even say I'm sorry. All of the above. Though, and they're looking for people to justify their reasons of talking bad about somebody. So that's really what what those two types of venters are. So you have to be careful in who you're really venting to, because if you do not, you'll find yourself doing more harm to you versus the other person. So my scenario and example, that is, marriage is very difficult and hard, and you're going to go through your ups and downs. So therefore, I did not align myself talking or venting to the right people. Instead, I vented to people who weren't even married. They may have been married, but it didn't even last no more than 6 months, give or take, for whatever reason. It didn't last at all to even be able to have me vent to them for any type of redirection. But instead, when I vented, and I was like, I need a divorce. Yes, I said it. I said, I need a divorce. I cannot do this no more. And needless to say, the people that I was venting to, they were all for it. They was like, oh, girl, yeah, okay, I'll help you with that. Oh, girl, yes, come on. You come on with it. They would be the ones that would actually probably help you with the divorce cake and all. But without even asking the one simple question. Do you think you did all you can do to save your marriage, to keep you from feeling like you don't want to be you don't want to be married anymore? Did you honestly do all you can do? The key word again in that is, ma'am, did you pray about this situation? Did you ask God in what you want, what he wants you to do in this situation? Did you ask God to guide you in what it is that you need to do with this particular battle on ground? Those were there wasn't any type of questions asked to me in that way. But instead, they were eager to help me get my divorce and file the paperwork and everything. Because I vented to the wrong person. I vented to the wrong people. Had I been weak-minded and even more vulnerable than what I may have been, who's to say that I would not be successfully divorced if I had not elevated my growth in the spirit? Have I not elevated my growth in my walk with God? Had I not been able to sit down and isolate myself and see what the what's what? It is those very things that people have to think about when they are talking to certain people. Because not everybody is going to give you the advice that you are looking for. You want to line yourself in the right environment of what you are aiming to be. So, fast forward. I have aligned myself with the right people. I have prayed about my situations on ground in regards to my marriage and relationships and things like that. It was a process, I will tell you that much. However, I saw small changes that eventually went to bigger changes. With that said, I saw growth in my spouse, meaning that my prayers were answered by God. So which means he knew exactly what to do. I gave that battle to God to help that individual do what it is that they need to do, and to help me see what it is that I need to see as a spouse. As my pastor Antonio Stokes basically said, it is your personal feelings versus God's will. Sometimes we think on irrational thoughts and make irrational decisions based on our personal feelings. So that's why I say, when you are walking in this light here, when your light is shining bright inside, you have to make the conscious decision in how to separate yourself. How to, be around the people that you need to be able to grow. Let's say Alcohol Anonymous, right? Let's use that as an example. If you know you're trying to be sober, right? You're trying to be sober and be the best that you can be. Would it be feasible for you to hang around those who drink all the time? Whether they're drinking to be merry, whether they're drinking because it's a holiday, whether they're drinking because they want to be social, do you think in your mind, body, and spirit it'll be feasible and good for you to hang around that group of people who are going to be drinking, knowing this is what you're trying to change in yourself? No, it's not. So you're going to have to remove yourself from that environment in order to not be tempted and do the things that you were addicted to. Well, that's the same thing with being, venting towards different people. The more you get in tune, the more you will see that some people, like I said in the other video, some people you will not be able to, conversate with anymore. Not because you don't want to conversate with them. It's because they're not giving you that same level of vibe that you're getting in your spiritual life. Okay? Not saying that they're bad. Again, it's that you are on two different levels. If you are truly seeking change, you have to do better for yourself. You have to be more observant in the environment that you're in. Because some things are just way too messy. And when I mean messy, I mean some things I see today is just really messy. Like this is too much messy boots. Whether it's in church, work, school, it's too many messy boots. So sometimes you got to be the bigger person and take yourself out of that situation. So here's the thing. How do I do that? Well, what if I have a person that I'm friends with both and they don't like each other? Do I stop being friends with both? No, you don't have to You don't have to stop being friends with both. But you have to be that liaison, so to speak. If you know Sally Sue is talking about Betty Boop, and you know that's not right, then inform Sally Sue. Redirect. Counsel. You can give your thoughts. Now what Sally Sue chooses to do with the information you gave about talking about Betty Boop, that's her business. Because again, like I said before, God will judge those based on how they treated people on earth. So as long as you did your due diligence and telling Sally Sue that, that's not okay. You did your part. You did your part what Jesus will want you to do as a servant of the Lord. So with that said, now if Sally Sue is still, doing whatever, then so be it. But you need to be the person to say, you know what, I can be your friend, but I'm also still this person's friend. So if you need to talk bad about this person, I'd rather you not do it in my presence. If you are a friend to me, please respect that. And if they cannot respect that, then you already know where you stand. Bye-bye, because that's how I'm going to say it. I will not stand around and let people badmouth each other, because that's not the way it is set up to be. So, my point is, women and men, be careful in who you are talking to and you align yourself with. Because not everybody is going to be trying to do what you're trying to do. I'm so serious. And people can be new and brand spanking new, and them are the ones that people tend to want to leech on and pass out that negative energy. Now the person that they are associated with finds herself in a battle, like a tug of war. One moment I'm on the straight and narrow, but then here you go, Sally Sue giving you a call, ding, ding, ding. Hey, what's up, girl? And you be like, nothing, girl. And then they be like, girl, you know what happened? And no, what happened? Girl, let me tell you. And they start spilling all the tea about someone that you know. And now it draws you right back on into that worldly life. Like, now it's drawing you right back on in to want to hear the gossip and the tea. Like, girl. Sometimes people will talk about each other so badly that people tend to pass their opinions off, and now instead of you getting that actual feedback for yourself, their opinion has rubbed off on you, and now you feel the same way about that person, not knowing that it's always another side. Because let me hear you. Here's the word right here, and I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. You got people that would sit here and tell you God knows what, just so they can feel validated, just so they can feel like they are justified in their issues, and sit up here and cry you a sob story, cuss everybody name in the book. However, now you saying to yourself, girl, that ain't right. They did what? But instead, you need to figure out what all happened. Because people will sit up here and say what they want you to know. And then you be on their bandwagon. And they feel empowered. They feel like they got it good. Because now I got not only that person, this person, they all backing me. They understand exactly what I'm talking about. But really, we didn't do our due diligence and research and see, is this person really telling the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help me God? No. And I'm a living witness to people who have done that. And knowing me, I've never been the one to be shady and just, you know, not tell you that if you're fake. I tell you if you're fake and being phony. Yes, I will tell you that in the best way possible. Especially if I see it with my own eyes. But you have to be careful in who you talk to, who you confide in. Because people who are saying that they are saved, they may be, but they have not transformed. You do have people that will say this and say that, and they have not. You see this look? They have not. And they be mad at you because you telling them like a good friend should, or a good sister should, or a good brethren should. But instead they want to be the victim when it's not even the victim. Is you really are the one that's doing the most harm. Because you're not accepting the truth and accepting that everyone has a part to play in something. So let me give you another example. Me and my brother, my youngest brother, we did not get along. I actually blamed him for my mother's death. I did. Because I thought that the much stress that he was giving her in her last days, it's not surprising that she died of heart problems. And I couldn't live with that. I felt like he was manipulating and just out for self. So we never got along in the beginning. We're umpteen years apart. My brother is a year older than my 25-year-old daughter. So just imagine that. We did never get along. He's the youngest and I'm the first. But until Pastor Antonio Stokes gave that message on forgiveness and how forgiveness is the key to your blessings and to your eternal life, everlasting life. That honestly got me thinking. And it was a moment where I actually got sick and I was complacent. I was like, God shut it down. Like, you gonna think this one here. And he did. And once I got done with that transformation, that isolation that I had because I was sick in my body, but my mind was still going, I literally thought things differently. So instead of me being malicious to my brother, because when I say I used to want to judo chop him. I wanted to kick his butt martial arts way type of thing. Jackie Chan type of thing. I wanted to. I sure did. I wanted to. I sure did. I wanted. That's how much I didn't care for him. But now, it's not like that. I would actually welcome him in open arms and talk to him like a sister should. Because whatever issues that may have transpired, we don't know what he has been through either. Nevertheless, myself. Only one person knows that and only one person can judge that. But I have to do my due diligence and do my part. So I had to forgive my brother without expecting an apology in return. And with forgiveness, that means I no longer think about offing him and putting him in a dumpster somewhere. I no longer think about getting some men to go ahead and do something. Because, in Chicago, people are about that life. You'll find yourself hidden somewhere and your body will never be found. It is real facts. I don't no longer have those thoughts no more. I now just want to be helpful and guide him. So that is the art of forgiveness. When you have forgiven someone, you don't prey on their downfall. Instead you uplift them. And you try your best to help them. And if they do not want your help, that is fine too. That's when you give that battle to God and you pray on it. But pray on it with a new heart and a clean mind. Not when your heart is still full of the world. Please don't. Please don't. I'm so serious. So my point to this little video here, my second part, is you need to be careful. Conclusion. Be careful who you're venting to. If they're not in the same alignment with what you are trying to be able to go, do not vent to them. Instead, we need to spend more time venting to God, venting to the Lord. We need to be able to, observe our environment. Observe the people who we even vent into, because everyone's not even deserving of us knowing what our business is. You don't know if they even wishing on your downfall, and we vent into them. Like I said, had I went through what I was doing previously, who's to say that I would not be filed? My divorce would not have been filed already, and that would have been nobody but me and my fault. Because I didn't trust in God and I didn't trust in the right people. But instead, I ran to the first person that had a listening ear. And that person who had a listening ear was not good with themselves either. And I should not have been venting to them either. Because, one, they're not even married at all to even help me in any type of situation. Let alone guide me and redirect me. You understand? So it's important for you guys to understand who you're talking to, who you're aligned with. And if you got to be by yourself, that is okay. Okay? So, like, subscribe, put your comments below if you have some questions. And please let me know what you may feel. All right, talk to you later. Bye.